Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic, Non-Classic. This is episode number 1400 and... I kind of forgot it. Just let me make sure about this. Here we go, found it. 1455 and Doubleshot number 1351. Yeah, I'm sorry about the goof there. I just kind of forgot it because I didn't update anything well. Okay, I have one Marvel trade and another trade from a company I've never reviewed any trades this one. You'll find out what it is soon. First up, it is Captain America and Bucky. The life story of Bucky Barnes. It's like Captain America, Bucky, 620, 624. Yeah, basically 5 issues. Though 624 is a standalone issue. Yes, it's a standalone issue. From 620 to 623, it's mostly just a 4-parter. Now, yes, Harbinger is the writer of this thing with, get this, Mark Andrego as his co-writer, which, that's interesting. The interior artwork is done by Chris Simney. Good. And the cover art is done by Ed McGuinness. Yes, this cover is Ed McGuinness' cover. Which you're probably thinking, really? Yeah, it's Ed McGuinness' artwork. Like, look at this. Like, the back cover here, that's 620. The front cover, I think that's 621. Yeah, 621. So, it starts out with basically Bucky before he became Bucky, where basically he's asking him to dance. This guy basically just punches him, he punches back, get into a fight, and he gets arrested. Yes, he gets arrested. For apparently punching a guy, he gets hauled up to jail, but he gets bailed out by the army because he's going to become Captain America's partner. This kind of in a way contradicts the original backstory of how he became Captain America's partner. If you read Captain America Comics number 1, he became Captain America's partner via finding out that Steve Rogers is Captain America and he asked to be his partner. He says, sure. Here it's like, oh, he was basically recruited to be his partner. Okay, and then at the end of that first issue, he becomes Bucky. Because he asks him, don't call him James anymore, just call him Bucky. And over the course of the next few issues, he's basically going on adventures with Captain America. He even goes to a concentration camp. Yeah, it's a concentration camp. He works with the Invaders, which is so awesome. Working with like Submariner and the Human Torch. And apparently, get this, despite the fact he did a good thing by freeing this concentration camp, apparently he disobeyed the chain of command. Which I'm like, really? So you chastise him for disobeying the chain of command, but you don't give him a medal for what he did. He freed, like, apparently a bunch of Jews about to be killed just because they're Jewish. Yep. That's a lot. And of course, he's here with Toro, who is, well, Human Torch's partner. And the final issue is quite interesting. It's a story set during his time as the Winter Soldier, where he basically is wearing his regular Bucky costume, except it's a lot more. He's taller, a lot more muscular, and he's got a robotic arm. You always know this is a Winter Soldier garb because he actually is having the robotic arm. This is probably during a period of time when he basically is supposed to be on the run, I think. So he has basically he's taking a shower, and then of course the Black Widow decides to join him, and of course they have sex. Yep. And then he's confronted by maybe a superior who says, you need to leave her alone. She's the property of the Red Guardian. And he's like, no, she isn't. She's her own woman. Screw you, man. And, of course, he goes on missions. He doesn't forget the Black Widow. Of course, they also mentioned the whole thing, him losing his memories altered. He did basically a bridge telling of basically his time Winter Soldier, which I don't mind this at all because Brubaker himself basically gave him a name to Winter Soldier. Just basically a bit of expansion on his time as a Winter Soldier, which is fine. But as the book itself, it is really good. I thoroughly enjoy this. And in case you're curious, though, is there more stuff with Captain America Bucky? The answer is yes. Here's some artwork by Chris Simney. Really good artwork. I love this guy's artwork. There's actually one more trade of this, believe it or not. Yep, and it's only 4 issues. Yeah, surprisingly, Harbiger's time on the Captain America and series. I first Captain America and because they changed the name like every so issues. This actually was the longest one. He was on here for 9 issues before switching over Cullen Bunn. Excuse me. And of course, basically, they kept changing the name of it. Now, this is something Marvel doesn't do anymore for stupid reasons. Like, if they had something like this, oh, we have to hit that restart button. You can't keep the same number going. Because look at this. Captain America Bucky, 620 to 624. It's a continuation of the Volume 1 numbering. When was the last time you ever actually heard, like, lately, Marvel's ever did that? Like, they hadn't done it in years because they don't freaking care to do that. Though they are keeping Amazing Spider-Man's number, probably because it's been sick for them. This book is great. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Really fun book to read. Love it. Alright, next up it is from Valiant. Yes, Valiant. I've never read anything from Valiant before. I love the Valiant stuff. Now, this actually was one of the very first comics I put out. This is Harbinger, Volume 1, Omega Rising. Yep, this collects the first 5 issues. I believe this is the second volume of Harbinger, if I'm not mistaken. I just want to be sure because this is quite interesting. Because, well, because here's the thing about this book. Now, yes, this book was originally published by Valiant back in the 90s for 41 issues. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, guess who created the Harbinger? Who created this book? It was Jim Shooter and David Lapham. This is a new version done by Josh Dysart. This you can kind of call this the second volume of the series. Yep, the second volume for the series. The Harbinger is pretty much in a way, kind of in a way, how should I put this? It's basically in a way kind of like the Valiant version of the X-Men, where these group of people who got powers and they manipulated by a guy named Toru Harada, who was also kind of in the way the main villain of the series. He also later gets his own self-titled series called Imperium. Yep. No, the name itself does not have a... the name itself has nothing to do with the wrestling stable Imperium from NXT UK. Nothing to do with that at all. This mostly puts the bringing together of the characters. Like we have Faith make her debut in here. In the most unusual way possible. Her debut is her lying in her underwear on her bed. Well, face down, of course. Not dead, per se. Just basically looking at stuff. Yeah. Faith, if you don't know who this woman is, she is a plus-size superhero. And last time I heard, as of currently in the Valiant comics, so it hasn't seen in a while, she is the girlfriend of Archer from Archer and Armstrong. Yep, she's basically his girlfriend. And they're in a very, from what I can tell, a pretty good relationship. Yep. But she's not the only character in the series. Oh no. Like you also have the character Peter Sorek, who's kind of in the way of the main character of the series. And of course you have Faith Herbert, aka Faith. Chris Holloway, who actually is in the series. You have Mingo, Torque, Livewire. Yeah, Livewire. Interesting character this woman is. Let me show you here. Yeah, Livewire is a character who later got her own series, believe it or not. Yeah, she got her own series. And here she is, Livewire. And here's a fun fact about Livewire. She at one point was dating Ninjak. Yes, Ninjak. In one of the Ninja books, she was his girlfriend. People are thinking, really? Yeah, and they gave her own solo book. Which makes her like the second person from Harbinger to get their own book. Because first it was Faith, and then it was Livewire, which I thought that was so interesting. The fact that she got her own book. Which no one could ever expect the fact that she got her own book, but she did. Yep. I think it was like a short-lived book, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's being published anymore. Yeah. I don't believe it is. Yeah, it's It's by far one of Valiant's most interesting comics they put out. It wasn't. I don't think it was limited series. No, I don't think it was. I believe it was an ongoing series. Yeah, here she is, Livewire. Yeah, her first appearance was an issue. Well, she was actually in this particular story arc. This was actually her reintroduction. Yeah, her first appearance in this universe was an issue number. It was one of these issues. Let's see if I can find it here. I believe it was like. It was issue 3. Yeah. Issue 3 was her first appearance in. Well. Yeah, issue 3 was her first appearance in this comic right here. Yeah, issue 3. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, her first appearance. Yeah, Livewire was one of a couple women Ninjak dated. Those know who Ninjak is. He is a British ninja. Yes, a British ninja who was a spy, and he's the creator of Joe Quesada of all people. Well, actually, it was one of the first comics he worked on. Like, let's see if I can show her first appearance here. Because in issue 3, that was her first appearance in the series. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, I'm trying to find her first appearance. I'm a little basically hesitant here. Yeah, Livewire is an absolute fantastic character. Who, in my opinion, I think Valiant should push a little more. And here she is. This is her first appearance. Being assistant to Tora Harada. Yep. But that is her first appearance. She associated with the original Harbinger. Yes, she is. Let's see if I can find her. Okay, her comic didn't last very long, surprisingly. Yeah, it lasted for like 12 issues, and that was it. Yeah, which is interesting. Yes, the fact that it lasted this long. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't know what was the reason for the end of the book. Maybe because of low sales. It's possible to say the least. And of course, well, in case you're curious though, Ninjak is set to come back next month. Yep, next month. Excuse me, yes. Ninjak, an absolute fantastic character he is. Yep. But for the start of this book, of course, they build up some stuff over the course of this particular series. If you're curious, though, how long did this book last for, if you're, like, very curious about that, this book lasted for approximately 25 issues. Yes, 25 issues. That is how long it lasted for. And it was collected in 6 trades. Yeah, 6 trades. The final trade is called Omegas. This is Omega Rising. Yeah, there's pretty much about 5 more trades out there for Harbinger. And, well, that's all there's to say about that. Yeah. The main characters of the series are, well, the Renegades. They're the Harbinger Renegades. And the Harbinger Foundation is simply the people who actually fight against, led by Tokyo Harada. Yep, that's simply put basically who they go up against. He is a very interesting character. You can kind of think of him as sort of like an evil Charles Xavier. And he made his first appearance in the first issue of this book. Yes. He at one point, believe it or not, yeah, they had this thing going on in his own solo book where he took control of an aircraft carrier. Yes, he took control of an aircraft carrier, and that became his base for his cult, which I thought that was kind of weird. And here he is. This is Tora Harada. That's his debut. So, 2 very interesting characters. Now, Faith herself, I believe she made her first appearance at the start of the series, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I want to show off her early appearance by her because Faith is an absolute great character. I love this character. Jodie Hauser, that was actually her first comic she wrote, was basically writing that comic. I even spoke to her about this when I met her at Comic-Con about 3 years ago. This was, I believe it was just before the release of the very first trade for Mother Panic. Yep. If you get a chance to read Mother Panic, I do recommend checking it out. And this woman here, that is Faith Herbert, aka Zephyr. That's her first appearance. The end of issue number 3. The same appearance as Livewire. And is it strange though that 3 people appeared in this series? Toru Harada, he got his own solo book, Imperium, and Faith and Livewire. These 3 characters got their own solo books, but no one else did, probably because they weren't that interesting to a lot of people at Valiant. But Faith, I think she should get a lot more for that character, but it all depends. Now, am I going to get more stuff for Valiant? Yes, because I thought this was really good. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Book is really good. If you're curious to who does the writing for this book, it's Joshua Dessert. I'm not all that familiar with him, but the interior artwork is mostly done by Carrie Evans, with Matthew Clark on issues 4 and 5, and James Menes on issue number 5. But Carrie Evans is the regular artist on here. For issues 2 and 3, the co-artist is Louis LaRosa, which of course this artist does work on issue 4 with Matthew Clark and Carrie Evans. 5 is done by Jim Menes with him. The cover art is mostly done, well, there's a gallery here done by David Aja, Carrie Evans, obviously, Helene Nevic, Louis LaRosa, Marco Sozan, Patrick Zurcher, and Doug Birchwhite. Yeah, for one of the first books they launched at Valiant in 2012, this is really good. Yeah, and they did do a follow-up of this one, Harbinger Renegades. Yeah, it was the second volume for the series. Well, it's actually technically in a way the third volume. As far as I know, they haven't done a follow-up this one. No, not that I can think of. No, they've never... they never did a follow-up of this one I can think of. No, not really. Like, there's Harbinger Renegade, that was a sequel to this one. Didn't last very long. It lasted about 8 issues. It was really short-lived. Not really sure why it got canceled. It was kind of weird. And we do have another Harbinger that will come out really soon in the summer. Yep. All it says is summer 2021. It basically follows up the Harbinger Wars 2. Yeah, there was a crossover called Harbinger Wars. It basically just something that deals with a lot of the Valiant universe. Yeah. But mostly the best way I can describe Harbinger is basically like, well, it's kind of in the way Valiant's taken the X-Men. That's my best estimation of it. Except they're not hated. Probably because Tokyo Harada basically is a well-respected figure. That's my personal guess. And probably because Jim Shooter didn't want to be a carbon copy of it. That's my personal guess anyways. But if I get a chance to meet the guy in person again, of course, I met Jim Shooter, I'm going to bring the Harbinger. I'm going to bring this for him to sign. Even though he had nothing to do with this version, he technically is the creator of Harbinger. Yes. He didn't create this version, but he did create the original version. But yeah, he did create these characters, so I'll give him a chance to basically sign it. Okay, so that's it for particular review. That's probably it for videos today. So tomorrow, the only videos probably coming tomorrow is probably going to be videos for Two Liver Darkness, and that's probably going to be it for tomorrow, okay? Unless, of course, get their Comic Con, right? So this video. Bye.